Hello, Mrs. Taylor. It's nice to see you again. Thanks for coming into your second session. I know last week we talked a little bit about, what your goals are, why you're in for therapy, um, you know, and what you think you want to work on here in therapy with me. And I also talked to you a little bit about the fact that I'm a feminist family therapist and how that type of therapy looks and what the benefits are and all those sorts of things. So, how have you been feeling about our last session? Well, I think that because my goal is very specific to my relationship with my husband, I think that gender plays a huge role in it. Sometimes it's difficult for me to see it or admit it because I do feel a lot of guilt about it. But, I think that it'll be a good thing for me to sort of explore what gender means to me, what it means to my family, and, just how it plays out in my family. I remember last time we did talk a lot about your husband and your feelings of guilt and your feelings of a little bit of anxiety around talking to your husband about certain things. And I wanted to sort of elaborate and go into that today. You said that one of your goals for coming into therapy is to be able to express yourself to him a little bit more. The specific instance that I really want to talk to my husband about is how he disciplines our children. I have two sons, as I told you the last time that we met, and the youngest, Marcus, he's 6, and he, I guess, is not as masculine as my husband would like him to be. He likes poetry and classical music and different things like that. And he doesn't really like sports, and so I find my husband a little harsh with him and a little forceful, almost trying to make him be someone who he is not. Here, Hippie was just able to identify gender and how it plays a role in her family. And she was able to express her feelings of disappointment about how it's being projected in her family. You know, there was a specific order to things. The man was the head of the household. In Christianity, that's what we believe. That, the man is the head. Here, Hippie is able to do a little bit of gender inquiry, which is a technique that we use in feminist family therapy to discuss and explore ideas that are learned about gender norms and gender roles in the family. One thing that I do think that is important to mention is the fact that feminist family therapy is not just embedded in gender, right? So that's what we focused on mostly last week, your goals, gender and all those sorts of things. But we're also going to discuss throughout our time working together how gender interplays with race, religion, and all sorts of things that might affect you. It might affect your relationship with your husband. It might affect your family. Well, I mean, being that he is an African American male, I feel like they already have a tough time, like getting jobs and, being treated well and everything. That I want to make sure that I am not outshining him, I guess. Because I didn't grow up with a father, you know? And as an African American woman, as an African American girl, being raised by an African American single mom, it was just tough for us, you know? Now, tell me a little bit
Here,
about what that
you
means
can
for
see
you
the
to be
interplay
an African
of
American woman, not just a woman,
Hippie
but an
taking
African American
responsibility
woman.
as a black woman for her
Well,
black
and
male
I'm feeling
counterpart
like
and being a
guilt right now.
caretaker
Like,
for the
I feel almost like I
dominant
am betraying him by
mistreatment
talking
of
about this
African
stuff.
American males.
But what I'm hearing you say is that you really want to become or figure out a way to be empowered enough to talk to your husband about these things that bother you and express yourself and your opinions to him while also staying loyal and staying respectful to your religion, to your upbringing. So that's something that I think we can work on here. That's something that I think we can talk about a little bit more. And I must applaud you on your amount of introspection and reflection. Um, a lot of people come into the office and, they're not readily able to do that. So I sort of want to give you um, a little bit of admiration, I guess, for that triumph, because it's very difficult to have that amount of introspection that you.
Here, I begin
Thank
to
you. I
use
appreciate that.
specifying
Sometimes I forget,
triumphs and supporting
what
resilience
my strengths
for
are and
hippie,
how, the
which
things
are
that I do well
two
and everything.
very important
And why
interventions
do you think that is?
when
What do you think
working
that
in
comes from
feminist
in
family
relation to what
therapy
we've been
to
discussing?
empower our clients to to
I
move
mean,
them
I
towards
guess
an understanding
because
that they have
I've always
strengths.
seen myself. So moving forward, we're gonna continue to discuss how to empower you so that you will be able to eventually talk to your husband about or express yourself to your husband and have more open communication with him. And we'll do that by talking more about gender roles, um, power, privilege. Um, so, thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you next week.